Hey guys, how's it going? Dude here, I am back with another video. Where's Lob Bazaar? There he is, the Knicks fan. He's grown hair, somehow. Anyway, hey, how's it going? Dude here. And today I've got a true crime video for you. And it's a child serial killer. Not a serial killer that kills children, or, well, no, technically it is a serial killer that kills children, but it's a child serial killer that kills children. That is right. It is a young boy from Argentina that killed 4 children between the years of 1906 and 1912. Before we jump into that though, just want to give a quick shout out to my patron of the day, and today the patron of the day is Mitchell Payne. Mitchell, thank you so much for being a patron, dude. I really appreciate you. I appreciate all my patrons, and if you would like to become a patron, there's lots of bonus content over there. It's a good place to be, and you can be there for as little as £1 a month. Okay, let's jump into this grisly murder case. Cayetano Santos Godino, I believe is how you pronounce his first name. Apologies if that is incorrect. We'll call him Kay for the sake of this video. Kay was born on Halloween, October 31st, in 1896. He was an Argentinian serial killer responsible for the death of 4 children. But he did attempt to murder another 7. And he also set fire to 7 buildings. I mean, this kid... He wasn't very nice. He grew up with abusive and alcoholic parents. His father contracted syphilis before Kay was born, which meant that he experienced some serious childhood illnesses. But, you know, he had this stereotypical kind of serial killer signs that, you know, he killed birds, he killed cats, he maimed animals, he played with fire a lot. You know, it's textbook serial killer. He was an incredibly disruptive student, he was a very violent student, and he had no interest in learning whatsoever, which meant that he was constantly bouncing from school to school. He never got settled. When he was 7 years old, he beat up a 2-year-old boy and threw him into a ditch. Now, fortunately, a local police officer saw this happening and escorted both of the children to a police station where the mothers of the respective children picked them up. Nothing ever came of this, probably because of Kay's age. Just a year later, he beat a girl called Anna up with a stone. And again, a police officer fortunately intervened, probably saving Anna's life. However, it's thought that Kay was too young to go to jail, so all the charges were dropped. Now, strangely, when Kay was 10, apparently he he'd just masturbate all the time, to a point where it became obsessive, and his mother got so concerned that he had compulsive masturbation that, you know, she didn't know what to do, so she told the police, and weirdly, the police actually put him in jail for 2 months. So he can beat the shit out of a 2-year-old and throw him in a ditch. He can try and cave a little girl's head in with a stone. No prison sentence. But because he was masturbating too much, 2 months in jail to try and straighten him out. Weird. January 17th of 1912, Kay set fire to a warehouse, and when he was questioned by police, because he was just stood there watching this fire go on, and asked, you know, was this you, why did you do it? He simply said, I like watching the firemen work. I like it when they jump into the burning buildings. Or as he put it, it's nice to see how they fall in the fire. A couple of weeks later, Arturo Lerona, 13 years of age, was found deceased in an abandoned house. And a few months after this, he set fire to a girl's dress, and the damage done, the injuries, led Reina to die days later. In September of that year, he set fire to a train station. In early November of the same year, he tried to choke a child to death, but fortunately there was intervention from police and he was arrested for attempted murder but was released until his trial. A week later, while still awaiting trial, he assaulted a little girl, but nothing came of it. A few days after this, again, he is still kind of like on bail, if you like. He kidnaps a 2-year-old who is only found because she was crying out so loud that a neighbour heard and managed to rescue her. And then, still in the same month of this boy awaiting trial, he sets fire to 2 massive sheds, which require the fire services. December now. But still only a few days after the kidnapping and the assaults and the attempted murder and the arson. So December 3rd, 1912, he lures a little boy away using, I'll give you sweets, that kind of thing. And this convinced the boy to come with him. Kay took the boy to a country house. Now, here he assaulted him. He tried to choke him to death with a belt, but wasn't quite successful, so he cut up the belt to use as like hand and feet restraints. He then started beating him senseless and thought, do you know what? I want to use a hammer and a nail in this little kid's head. So he leaves the boy in the country house beaten to go and find a nail. When he is out looking for a nail, he actually bumps into the boy's father, who is obviously looking for him, and he just says, I haven't seen him. And so the father goes a different way, and Kay finds a nail and returns to the country house. He hammered this nail into the side of the child's skull, killing him. Now, it didn't take long for the father to find the body of the boy, but Kay was nowhere to be seen, and Kay actually went to the wake of the child that he hammered a nail into the skull, and apparently it was an open casket, and Kay actually kind of caressed the area of the skull in which he hammered the nail into. The following morning, Kay was arrested and began confessing to all of his crimes. He was put into a type of reformatory where he tried to kill a lot of his fellow inmates. He was soon deemed to be insane, so they just dropped all of the cases against him and just kept him in the reformatory. A few years later, there was an appeal which was successful, and he was eventually moved to a jail. He was moved to Ushuaia Penitentiary, but just to show what a piece of shit this guy was, as if you didn't already realise, in 1933, obviously he's been in jail for a while, he spent some time in hospital because he was severely beaten by other inmates. Why? Because he decided to kill the inmates' cats. And apparently for the final 10 years of his life, he was very ill and had no visitors, and eventually died in 1944. So that is the case of Cayetano Santos Godino. And yeah, he was a young boy who, committed a lot of horrendous crimes against a 2-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 3-year-old. What do you guys think? Is it nature? Is it nurture? It's so strange, isn't it? When it's a child killing children, it's hard to kind of, think of how can you think of a child as being so evil, but this child clearly was. But there we go. What do we think? Let me know down below. I really appreciate you coming here and checking out the content. If it's what you like, subscribe, like, share, and all that good stuff. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon. Sweet one. Geese.